Monday, 1st of August. Nixon Road has been locked off. The reparations. Walking the road. See Margot. So this is for the reparations March 2021. It's August the 1st. And I'm filming for JUSCOOLRADIO.com. It's Anton's team fan. Let's see what's going on here.
Hello people, the beautiful African family, thank you. Just hold me up and I deliver this and bring my offering to you. Auntie Jedi just said that we want reparations. We don't just want reparations, we do reparations. That is what we're all here to do. It's not just about compensation or pays out. We're here to learn about ourselves, to repair internationally recognized law. Every people should have the right to reparations and remedies. Don't ask me, this is codified in international law. So when we stand here today, know that it is our right to self-determine as people. It is our right to break free from colonial domination. It is our right to not live at the expense of our own family. It is our right to be free from exploitation, and that's what we're here to do today. We're taking the UK government to court. And we all are taking the UK government to the court. In fact, we don't need their systems to tell us what this is. We've been knowing what justice is, but there's one important question that we have to ask ourselves right now today. I'm not the first person to ask this question, but it's a question that I believe that everyone should be asking themselves every generation. We need to know what time it is. And we have to be very serious about what time it is. And I say this as a young person concerned for my life, but for the future of a family, of a global African family. And so let's put that in context, because we're talking about genocide and ecocide. What does that mean? What does that look like? They're now saying that by the end of the century, 4 billion people will be displaced, and those are white conservative estimates. What does it mean when 4 billion people, and you know we will be there, will be floating trying to get to the so-called promised land, because that is still the lie that we're exporting around the world. What does it mean when we get to that point and we're nationless people? Because the fact is that we're here now, and the UK military leaked papers a few months ago. And in those papers they said in the event of a 4-degree world, that means towards the end of this century, in my lifetime, in our children's lifetimes, that they'll be prepared to go out and secure loot and secure resources. They're planning for the end of the world, and we're out here still discussing questions that we need to move on from, because we have a united destiny. The symbol I'm wearing today means that we are united in diversity. We are the most beautiful, varied people on this planet. And we have a history of 10,000 years that in the hands of the wrong people, they would happily end tomorrow. And that is what they're currently planning for. And so we're here organising not only as a family here, but as a global African family, to take the UK government to court. And it's important that we know our rights. It's funny, I've been through 3 stages of education and I've not come out knowing what my human rights are. we're not getting educated to know the very basics of what we need to survive as people. And that is a violation of our human rights. That's a violation of Article 2, the right to life. Article 8, the right to family life, which includes an international family. And that's the case we're taking to the UK court, because we're not just charging genocide and ecocide, we're exposing that their system is incapable of providing us justice. And in the meantime, we will organize, we will engage our peoples as a global African family. And that's what we're here to do today. And that's what reparations means. And let's get that very clear. Mount Angamizi is a serious reality that we know too well. I don't have to tell you this. We feel it in our blood. It's in our ancestry. We feel it in our roots. And that's the psychological violence that we live with every day. But we're here and we're stronger than that. That's what we're doing here today. So yeah, I'm from a little campaign. We're working to organize our people around the world because it's so important that we're united and understand that we can say Black Lives Matter, but if that does not mean all African lives, then we've fallen into the trap of who they wanted us to be, a divided people, capable of being totally destroyed. And so we're taking the UK government to court because they know that we know our rights and that we know that liberation is a human right. And when we assert that, we're unstoppable. So that's what we're here today. Love, family, every time. Thank you so much.
Jerry Amakwando, you need to look them up. Twitter, Instagram, Global Majority Versus. That's Global Majority Versus as in VS. Global Majority Versus. Follow this case on Twitter, on Instagram. These are 3 young people who are co-claimants. They are in their 20s. What were you doing in your 20s? Nobody tell me about no rubber pan shubin, you know. All right. Celestine, I'm lining you up, my sister. Celestine from Bristol. Celestine. I'm going to bring on this artist now. We've been waiting a while with him, technical challenges. But now, I'm ready to bring you Remy!
People on the bar wait, on the bar wait. We'll have to stay down.
on, you good?
No, they're not having fun at the end of the year.
journey or self-repair's journey. But I'm going to start a little anxiously because I know we've got Celestine up next, who's a great singer. I'm not. But a call and response song that I'm sure we all know. Limbo, limbo, limbo like we. Limbo, limbo like we. Everyone knows it? Yeah? A bit of a response, come on. So, limbo, limbo, limbo like we. Limbo, limbo like we. We're just coming through in Bristol about memorial, remembrance. And I learned from one of our esteemed poets and now ancestor who passed away, I think, last year or the year before, Kamal Brathwaite, and his poem, Limbo. Limbo, to be neither here nor there, to be left in limbo, to be on the border of a certain hell, or a Caribbean dance. Who knows the limbo and the stick of the limbo? But did you know, and I learned it through this poem, that the limbo dance itself was a memorial by our ancestors
ancestors, documenting their experience of being taken from our motherland and travelling the stick that was enslavement and the Middle Passage to a so-called new world. That's how they memorialised it. So when we think about memorial, it doesn't have to be a statue. It doesn't have to be a museum. Maybe it's a mural, maybe it's a dance, maybe it's all of these things. And all of these things have become into the conversation in Bristol. As Bristol City Council supports African heritage communities on their own reparations plan. And perhaps in some ways, that is due to the current administration we have in Bristol. We currently have Europe's first elected Mayor of African Heritage and the Deputy Mayor, Asha Craig, who I believe may be here a little later. Some of you will know that we passed a reparations motion this year, March the 2nd, on the very day of the National Black People's Day of Action 40th anniversary, as we heard earlier. We passed that reparations motion, as did Lambeth and Islington. The difference is it's not just a document that's going to sit on a website or sit in a file somewhere. We've started the walk to go with that motion. And in Bristol, as you know, our history, vast and large, concerning our history, our journey, and we would have all heard about the statue toppling last year. But prior to that, we set up a legacy steering group, which is convened by the Bristol City Council, but includes a number of stakeholders from the community and other institutions, talking about how Bristol will address its connection to our history. And through that, a steering group within that was formed, and we came up with a project called Project Truth, telling, restoring, understanding our tapestry and history, because that's what it is. We bring together these different threads of our experience to try and envision what we want for the future. So Project Truth was a consultation with African heritage communities. It included your survey and also focus groups and a number of questions about what we want to see in our city in relation to this history, Bristol's connection to the trafficking of enslaved Africans, TTEA. And TTEA is the term that we use instead of what most people say, slave trade. So we're changing the language in Bristol, and that's also significant. It's all on our own terms. The consultation has been completed, the report and the recommendations have now been written, and these are quite wide-ranging, from education to having our own centre of excellence, not modelled on what already exists, but having something new and something led by ourselves. You can go on to Black Southwest Network website to learn more, and the next phase will be implementing the recommendations, and that takes community work, community coming together across all our differences, because as African heritage communities, we're not one community, are we? We come with our differences, but it's about how we pull this together, how we sew this together in readiness, and we're calling it the Pempamsier Plan, again drawing on our African roots and that idea of sewing together. So that's where we are. It's an exciting time. It's a time where we have at least 3 years under the current administration to push this and get what we need to start our process. And hopefully we'll set a benchmark that can be replicated in places like Lambeth, other boroughs in London, London at large, and other cities. But it takes the collaboration and the limboing between the institutions and the community to bring those things together. I'm losing my voice a little, so I'm going to round up now because I know we've got other speakers coming on. Going back to the song, Limbo. Try and listen to the poem by Kamal Brathwaite, and he'll also explain limboing from the depths of what they deemed us to be, which was nothing rise. We're on our trajectory, but we must stay on the road and we must stay together. Limbo, limbo, limbo like we. Limbo, limbo like we. Limbo, limbo, limbo like we. Limbo, limbo like we. Thank you.
You like limbo, limbo like me. I saw it go. Celestine, are you in the house? Right now, we're gonna hear. Hold on, hold on, hold on. It's not Asher yet. Not yet. What we're gonna do now is introduce you to something. If you are a Londoner, you need to sign up and get involved in this. Because what Cleo is talking about and what our Bristol Deputy Mayor is going to talk about is things that is happening in Bristol that are yet to happen in London. But Sister Marlene is going to give you the vehicle to make that happen. So what will I say? Let's be thankful for Garfield. Be thankful for Garfield. Sister Marlene, let's give her a warm welcome.
Greetings, my brothers and sisters. It's great to see you out here. I wish we would treble, quadruple this. I want to talk to you about TARV. T-A-R-V. Every time we have been voting, since we have been here, we get our votes divided. And it is our fault. We vote on employment, education, housing and health, but on an individual basis. And our vote gets divided and they get our vote for free. This has to stop. Whatever your political party is, we have to stop giving our vote away for free. There's one thing that incorporates absolutely all of our African heritage interests, and that is a vote for the African reparations vote. So in future, when you have politicians visiting your door to get a vote from you, you say, no TARV, no vote. TARV stands for the African reparations vote. No TARV, no vote. No TARV, no vote. No TARV, no vote. Now, if you do not do this, we are not going to get our commission of inquiry in Parliament. You see, they're connected. If you want this all-party parliamentary commission of inquiry for truth and justice in Parliament, you have to say no TARV, no vote. It's not going to happen until you get proactively informed and you recognise the connection between the delay of this vote and us getting our repair. If you don't vote, if you don't belong to a political party, I don't blame you, because you know it's been a waste of time. But here you have something to vote for. Now why bother to engage with this system when it's a corrupt system? This is a very fair question. At the moment, that's what we have got. We are trying to get an all-party parliamentary commission. That means a national and international discussion about our repair. You have to vote no TARV, no vote to get there. Do I need to repeat myself? Is there anything that's not clear? So what do you have to vote next time? No TARV, no vote. No are talking to. I hope that's